professor here at the ABC School of Music and with the Arts 1 program, and welcome to Music 103. That was some music by the great African-American composer Scott Joplin, and one of the reasons why I'm playing that, just to get the ball rolling, it's a kind of overture, but it's also a reminder to me of why I've been so interested in music theory throughout my life. I remember when I started learning a little bit more advanced harmony in my undergraduate years, and I discovered that I already knew a lot of what was being taught in the class because I'd been playing Scott Joplin since I was quite young. And it turned out that Scott Joplin provided kind of a textbook for a lot of the kinds of fancy chord types that I was learning about officially in a theory course in my second year. And so I want to just let you know why this subject matter is of particular interest to me. I've always felt that music theory grew directly out of my musical experiences, and that's something that I hope I can bring to this course as a whole for you. I'll be bringing in musical examples as often as I can, in part because I'm not interested in music theory unless it can help me engage more fully with music. Now, one reason why I think music theory is a useful thing to have nonetheless, rather than just playing an instrument all the time, is because it gives us an opportunity to kind of explore, in a sense, a little bit more of what we already know about music theory from our prior musical experiences. In this sense, although the course requires absolutely no background knowledge of music theory, music notation whatsoever, nonetheless, what I'm hoping you'll find is that it speaks to a lot of musical experiences that you've already had and gives you perhaps new ways to articulate those experiences for yourself and to pursue them further. In this sense, I think what we're doing in music theory is a little bit like what we do when we study language at school. We can be perfectly fluent speakers without ever taking a single course in English, and yet when we do, we discover all sorts of new ways in which we can engage with that language and use it in new creative ways. So I'm hoping that you'll find the course a useful one. As much as I can, I'm going to be shortening the videos so that you are not having to spend too much time looking at a screen with the kind of situation we find ourselves in. I know that students are facing a huge amount of screen time, and I want to keep these as focused as possible. So if ever I can cut out some redrawing of a board or something like that, or if I'm coughing or who knows what, I'll cut all of that extraneous material out so that you're just getting hopefully useful information on a regular basis. So I hope you'll find the course an interesting one, and I really look forward to exploring all of these topics because each of them is something that has meant a great deal to me in my own development as a musician over the years. And for that reason, rather than presenting these videos as a series of precise lectures, they're going to be of different length. I'm calling them episodes because I'll be looking at a variety of related topics. Although theory does tend, of course, to focus in on key details, what I'm interested in is how many of these details will complement each other. So that's why the core of the course will be a series of 12 episodes. In each of them there will be a description for the video that gives you a whole series of chapters. And if you look at the sequence of chapters, in a sense you get an outline of the course as a whole. And I think it will make it easier to navigate the videos. I do recommend listening to them straight through initially, but then you should be able to use the chapters to come back in and go, right, what was he talking about there, or what were the issues that were at stake there? So it'll just make them a little bit easier to use. Okay, so I'll leave it at that for now, but I hope that you will find the sequence of discussion an interesting one, and one that kind of naturally builds upon itself. There are ways in which I'll introduce some topics only briefly and not cover them in full detail, but keep coming back to them in a kind of spiral fashion so that we gradually acquire a kind of fluency and comfort with these concepts. So I look forward to talking to you more and playing a little bit more music for you along the way, but let's get down to business.